Hey, what's up? Ian here, and today I'm going to talk about this dongle, which is the EPZ TP35. Retail price for this is $60 and it's available on EPZ's official AliExpress store. If you are interested to find out more, do check out the unaffiliated link in the description below. So I've tried it, I've opened it as you can see, and I'm here to share with you guys my thoughts and opinions about this dongle so that you guys make an informed decision. So let's start off with the packaging and the accessories. So this is the packaging that came in, not bad, okay, and you get a card that shows you the schematics of the dongle and the RGB light indicator, which can be seen at this window here. And you get two accessories, which is the USB-C to USB-A adapter for older devices, and the cable itself, which is USB-C to USB-C cable. So talking about cable, I would suggest strongly to all my viewers out there to get a third-party cable and get the best specs. All right, so what I have here is the best specs. So yeah, if you can find something better, let me know. So this cable can transport data up to 40 gigabytes per second. Okay, so that's very fast. If you can find a cable better than this cable, let me know in the comments. Okay, so back to the TP35. Let's go through the specs of this. So inside here there are two DAC chips, which is the CS43198 DAC chips, and it can decode PCM up to 32-bit 384 kilohertz and DSD256. Now in terms of output, so there are two outputs. One is the single-ended output 3.5 mil and the balance output, which is 4.4 mil. Now the single-ended output gives up to 70 milliwatts of power per channel, and the balance output is 150 milliwatts of power per channel. So not a very powerful DAC, right? But well, in terms of balance output, it still can push most of my IEMs. In terms of the frequency range is 20 to 80,000 kilohertz. Okay. All right. So let's talk about the sound of this and how I tested it. So I used the same earphones, which is the Moondrop Cadence, with the same cable for the earphones, with balance output or balance output to the earphones, and I used the same cable, which is this third-party cable. Okay, I didn't change the cable, and I used the same player, which is my HiFi. So, and I compared it with three other DACs with me. So let's talk about the sound of this TP35 before I talk about the comparison. Now overall, this is in terms of technical performance, I would say it's a mid-tier technical performance. In terms of resolution, it's all right. Pretty good value for the price that it's asking for. If it's asking above $100, then I wouldn't say this resolution is the best. And in terms of soundstage, it's also pretty alright. It's not the widest stage, it's not the area stage, and it's also not the most congested stage. So in terms of soundstage layering, separation, I would say it's actually pretty good, above the average, I would say. So not bad for the price that is asking for, $60. Okay, now in terms of tone and temper for this is warm, a little bit warmish, and is suitable for casual listening. It's not warm to the point whereby it's fun. It hasn't crossed the fun threshold yet. To me, this is more of a balanced warm. Okay, it's a balanced tuning, but it's warm. Okay, so in terms of tone and timbre, I would say it's pretty alright, and most of us would enjoy this kind of warm kind of tuning. In terms of sound delivery, right, the overall sound delivery, the bass is very prominent. I liked the clean bass. The rumble is also very nice, very clean rumble as well, very defined rumble as well, and it's actually a very good forward bass. Okay, mids are recessed overall, but I would say it's not for vocals. This DAC here is not really for vocals, but if you listen to vocals, this will still deliver the mids nicely to you, but not to the bass. Okay, in terms of treble, this is a little bit on the darker type of treble. Is not the brightest, but in terms of clarity, the overall airiness of the treble is there. It's just that it's a little bit dark for the treble. Okay, so overall sound of this, I would say, is more for casual listening, and if you're a casual listener, and you are mostly listening to your music on the side, then this may be the dongle DAC you might want to consider. Okay, now let's compare it with the other dongle DACs which I've listened to. The first one is the TRN TE Pro. Okay, so this is the TE Pro, as you can see. Now, in terms of power consumption, the EPZ TP35 consumed about 0.4 watts. Let me just show it to you. Okay, so I've got my device here to measure the power consumption, and I'll plug it into my player here. Let me just use this as a support, and then I'll just plug it into my dongle, and as you can see, it will show you a screen, and it's about 0.3 to 0.4 watts. Okay, 0.34 watts, as you can see. All right, so that's the power consumption for this TP35. Now, when I connected this TE Pro, okay, it will show a higher wattage of output. Okay, so this one showed me 0.49, which is about 0.5 watts. So yeah, 0.6 watts, as you can see here. So this TE Pro consumes more power as compared to the TP35. Okay, now in terms of the resolution, the TE Pro is a little bit less resolute, even though it's more expensive, but I would find that the TP35 is cleaner overall, the overall sound delivery. And by the way, the song that I listen to has got a bit. Let me just go back to my home here. The song that I listen to is this Hound Dog by Paloma, and this is a DSD song, so it's bit perfect, 1 bit. Okay, so whatever file that I was listening to, it was bit perfect, and is being transported out to this very powerful cable, which is can handle up to 40 gigabytes per second. Okay, and that's the same setup I use for all the dongle DACs which I tested. Okay, so in terms of resolution, I feel that the TP35 is more resolute. Soundstage TP35 is definitely much wider, but both are quite similar, to be fair. Okay, they are not intimate and congested. I would say both of them are quite similar, but I would say it's area on the TP35. The details retrieved is I would say the TE Pro has got a little bit more details being retrieved, mainly because the treble is a little bit brighter on the TE Pro as compared to the TP35. Now, in terms of the tone and timbre, now the TE Pro is more lean, is more neutral in terms of the tone and timbre, so it's a little bit lean and light as compared to the TP35. TP35 is warmish, as I mentioned. It's more balanced in terms of sound delivery and tone and timbre. So yeah, both of them are a little bit different, sound different. In terms of bass, this is the winner, the TP35. I like the clean textured bass on the TP35 as compared to the TE Pro. So this delivers both the sub bass and the mid bass very well. I'm not saying that the TE Pro is not delivering bass well, but it's a little bit thinner, and it's a little bit on the lighter and leaner side. So I'm getting more warmth and more texture on the TP35. Okay, in terms of mids, the TE Pro would sound more forward. So in terms of vocals and instruments, they would sound a little bit more forward on the TE Pro, and treble as well. So treble on this, it sounds brighter. It sounds much more energetic and more engaging, and it's got that sparkle as compared to the TP35. And I would say it depends on listening preference. I would prefer at times TE Pro when I'm listening to my classical music instruments and my vocals. But then if I'm in the mood for EDM, then I would use the TP35. Okay, now let's compare it to her elder sister, which is the TP30. Now, in terms of power consumption, the TP30 consumes 0.6 watts of power. I can just show you right here. Okay, so it's consuming 0.6 watts of power. This 0.49, 0.54, which is about 6 watts. Okay, so 6 watts of power as compared to 0.4 watts of power on the TP35. So again, in terms of power consumption, it's consuming less power compared to the TP35. Now, in terms of the sound comparison, I would say the resolution on the TP35 is cleaner as compared to the TP30. Soundstage is wider as well, more spacious as compared to the TP30, and also it sounds more natural as compared to the TP35 in terms of the layers and overall placements of the instruments in the stage itself. Details, I would say the TP35 is retrieving a bit more details. Both are about the same, but I would feel that the TP35, it sounds more resolute. That's why, to me, it sounds that it's retrieving more details to my ears. And in terms of tone and timbre, both are actually quite similar. Both are warm sounding. Maybe this would be crossing the fun threshold a little bit more. But yeah, both are quite similar in terms of the tone and timbre. In terms of bass, I love the bass on the TP35 as compared to the TP30. TP30 is forward, but it's not as firm, not as clean, not as defined and textured as compared to the TP35. So definitely bass on the TP35 would sound a bit more satisfying to me as compared to the TP30. Mids, I would say both are quite similar, but maybe I'll give the edge to the TP35 because maybe the resolution and the details being retrieved, the mid sounded better on the TP35. Now, in terms of treble, both are pretty similar. I would say maybe the TP30 would sound a bit brighter, but yeah, not much difference in terms of the treble. So overall, I would say this TP35 is more or less an upgrade of the TP30. Okay. And last but not least, and this is not a very fair comparison, I compared it with the FIO KA17, and to sum it up, this is much better dongle DAC, but it's much more expensive as well. In fact, it's double the price, and it comes with a screen, comes with a display, so not a very fair comparison. But one thing I would say, for the price that this asks for, comparing in both in terms of the overall sound and resolution, I would say they are quite up there. This TP35 is quite up there, quite comparable to the KA17. But of course, when it comes to resolution, this is much more resolving. Soundstage would sound cleaner, wider on the KA17. Details can be picked up much more on the KA17. In terms of tone and timbre, quite surprisingly, both of them sound quite similar in terms of tone and timbre. Bass wise, KA17, the mids KA17, but in terms of power consumption, the KA17 takes up about maybe 0.9 watts of power. Let me just show it to you. So it's taking quite a bit of power and drains, yeah, there you go, actually 1 watt of power, almost 1 watt. Okay, so 1 watt of power on the KA17. This is power hungry. Okay, But the good thing is you can actually plug in your own power, so it does not depend on the power of the device. But you know, if you're out and about, why would you want to carry so many devices with you? But anyway, that's for another video. But yeah, so comparing this two, I would say in terms of price to performance ratio, this would have a higher price to performance ratio as compared to the KA17. Okay, so that's my comparison of the other dongle DAC, and also concludes my overall thoughts and opinions about this EPZ TP35. I would say in terms of value, $60 is pretty okay. It's a mid-tier kind of price, and I would say it's pretty worth it to get this dongle DAC compared to other brands out there. Alright, and that's it for now. I thank you so much for watching this video. If you guys enjoyed watching this video, please give this video a thumbs up, and also please don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I hope you guys have a great day ahead, and I'll see you again in my next video. Cheers.